Well, I met Cale in 2012, and we became really good friends, and mostly because we had a lot of common interest in music and art and the arts. And he introduced me to filmmaking because he loves to do that, and that was something I knew nothing or didn't know very much about. And so he came up with an idea for a movie, and he asked me to help him with a script. And it kind of all snowballed from there. And I never really considered writing a script before, but couldn't pass up the challenge or the opportunity to do it. And I loved his original idea. I think it's a story that has never been told like this, the way we were going to present it. And it's just the story is going to be very thought-provoking, poetic, and a little controversial. Cale has had previous films where it had a little controversy, which I appreciate. And I do appreciate the controversy because that is something very intriguing to me as a writer. That is something, I like the idea of adding something that people will talk about, like after they see the movie, because conversation after the movie just adds another fulfillment of the characters and rememberability of the film. Intrigues me a lot. It's a challenge to add all that in there because this story is going to have some very strong characters. And when we started looking at this storyline, it was originally for a short film, and then it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and we realized there was no way we could do all this in a 30-minute film. So now it's going to be a full-length film. And the characters are just developing into these very strong people with very dynamic relationships between them. There's a very strong protagonist and antagonist, and I just really like that. And working with Cale on this adventure has been very eye-opening and a learning process, but I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Now, Gabby carries many burdens that leads her into depression and despair, and she struggles to deal with those particular emotions. Along with that, she's also dealing with the loss of her sister, who was brutally murdered and whose killer was never found. And at the same time, she's caring for her ailing mother. And that sister and mother relationship with Gabby are very complex, compelling, and very dynamic. And it will, even though it kind of sounds like other movies in this genre, it's not going to be what you think. There's going to be some twists and turns. I'm not going to go there about it, but it's going to be very provoking and controversial. Now, the other character, Juliana, is the polar opposite of Gabby. They've been best friends since they were in elementary school. And Juliana is very vibrant and very adventurous and just full of life. And she's that person that she loves her job. She has her 2 boys and her husband. And she's just trying so hard to help Gabby to overcome some of her depression and be happy too. And so their relationship is built on they care for each other a lot, but Juliana's really trying to pull her back from the dark side, per se. And so this will be a story that is going to speak of depression and tragedy and very complex and difficult relationships, a little dysfunctional. But at the same time, this movie is going to make you think. It's very thought-provoking, it's poetic, and it's going to keep you on your toes.
As Gabby travels down a path that leads her into the darkness and unknown, with only the certainty that every road comes to an end.